Aloha, my beautiful human beings on the other side. My name is Crystal Ra Laksmi and coming to you again from beautiful San Diego, California. I call myself abundance anthropologist, and I believe that each one of us, we have a treasure box hidden deep in and where we have all our amazing talents. And once we activate those talents, we will start to manifest our inner fairy tales into this reality as our dreams on our terms. Welcome to today's episode, and the topic is connected to my blog, which is basically kind of like asking a question, light workers versus new time energy therapist, or simply becoming a human angel. So this was actually inspired by one of my clients and friends and colleagues in Estonia, and I really loved how she was talking about it and then thinking about it, and then I kind of started to think about it myself. What does that mean and how it has been for me? So many may not know, but I have been working with people for the past 20 years internationally. I started actually with spiritual groups as a volunteer, going through spiritual books and such. And that was really exciting and very challenging too, because at the time I didn't really speak much of Norwegian, but I started to do this and lead those groups in Norwegian. Can you imagine? So I always like to have those extra challenges, and it's really good for your brain. So after some time was passing with those different books, I started really get really deeply interested in angels and angel therapy. And as I started to study in Cape Town University as an exchange student, I actually went through the whole angel therapy school and became an aminologist, so to say, angel therapist. And this was a really interesting time because I really wanted to do good and be this angel lady who is always a light worker. I remember one time someone was telling me, like, Crystal, what about like Lucifer and all of those energies and so on. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not dealing with those energies. And then the universe and my life actually showed me the dark side, and it almost like killed me. It was so bad. So I realized when we want to be light workers, we always actually also pull in the dark energy and shadows, and it will sweep us off our feet or come and attack or whatever, get us off the balance or whatever. So I really didn't give much deeper thought to that until I started to get really hooked with aura transformation. So there is was a lady called Annie Sennov in Denmark who came to this idea that we are all, transitioning into the new energy, which is indigo, crystal, golden, and diamond energies now. So we need to upgrade our energies, and she started to do this with great success for very many people all over the world, continued to write many more books, and it was really growing really fast. And as I got hooked into that, then 2007 I went through the process aura transformation, and then started to also work with it, and went through the aura mediator class. After some time, I also was enrolled into aura instructor program for several years, and that was also very like a lot of stuff to learn. And I really loved. I basically, my life was all about energy work. So at that time, and as I was diving deeper into the new time energy, I realized that, wow, this is like Annie was saying as well, it is very, rooted in the balance energy, which means that the light and dark have already like kind of, melted together. So they're not separate units anymore. And what that does that mean is that when we are starting to work with energies, we also need to work differently, and also everything connected to that will also change. So I started to observe it more, and as 2011 came, I had lots of stuff happening in my personal life, and I started to travel more again, so I could like observe it more in different, cultures and places and countries and continents even. And what became more clearer and clearer to me is that there was a huge difference how light workers were working and how the new time energy therapists are working. And because the new time energy therapists, they are taking their word and kind of spreading the word about this different kind of way of working with energies, but we are so few still that the light workers and kind of working with the light and all of this is still kind of really active, and there are more masses connected to this side, and this is connected to the old time energy. And if I would just simply share, this is the old energy, so this is the rainbow energy. We have 7 chakras here. This is the indigo energy from 95 till 2003, and then going over into crystal energy. So here we have 3 chakras, and here we have 1 chakra. So everything gets more kind of easy, simpler, and everything also melts together. So what this means also is, as light workers, they work from that old energy system, which means that they sometimes also subconsciously put hooks into their clients, and they want the clients to become actually dependent on them. Not everyone, but very many of them. So what happens is that when those clients will come, they will always kind of start to rely on that information or whatever that person is doing, energy work or whatever, and they actually are disconnecting from their own truth and own path or intuition even. So what happens now with the new time energy therapist is, our purpose is basically help the person to get reunited and reconnected with their true path, with their true intuition, and start to listen this more, get liberated and expanded by this. And as they start to go that new route in a way, in between, kind of come into little maintenance and check-in points, like get a little bit of the outside perspective. But it's actually not really necessary, because you really will be much more connected and deeply in union with your intuition as such. So this is a huge difference. It is just a very little thing, but it's a huge difference. So, and then as the new time energy therapist actually has gone through this upgrading themselves, then all of these things which needed to be cleared from that darkness or shadow are already done or in the process of being done. So whatever they do is actually coming from that balance energy. And when you even connect with someone like that, is it really resonates with you, and you feel so like grounded, and it's really like, it's actually a very comfortable feeling once you get to connections like that. So it's that's the main difference which I wanted to share, and which kind of came to me. And then the thought of why are those times right now so special on the subconscious level. If you are watching this video, then is for sure, like 100% sure that you got to this information. What's happening is basically on subconscious level, before you manifested into physical world here, you actually had an intention to come to this planet Earth during this time, because you wanted to experience how it would be to receive the spirit energy, which in the old energy was only outside of you, to receive that spirit energy, come into your body and unite yourself and melt together with that energy, so to say, become the human angel. With that, of course, comes huge responsibility. So once you are awakened to that, like, oh my God, like, I have, that's what I called out here in the beginning, I have the treasure box inside of me, and it's my responsibility to open it up and put these things into use. When you start to realize that, you realize that I'm not here to do 9 to 5 job. I'm here to fully, live and express my gifts and serve in such a way that it will be a huge value for me and for everyone who I serve. And that's the beauty of this new time energy. And I really, really hope that by now, after all this coronavirus experience we have had, all of us, one way or the other, you have realized that something is really shifting. Some old things don't work anymore, and you need to also change and maybe upgrade your energy or do something different, so it will really, make a difference for you and also for your children, for your family and everyone around you, and of course the planet as well. So this is such exciting time right now, and this is also why I share this. Previously it was only possible to get united with spirit energy when your body died and your soul energy moved into spirit energy, which is like the source, the God, or whatever you call it, universe. So now when you go through this upgrade, what happens is basically this energy will start to it starts to come into you, but it starts to come even deeper into you as days go by, and more you do what you love and why you are here, what your talents are, and if you figure it out, how to package it and so on, then you will be so happy, and you will get the value you need, and also the world will be such a better place. So I personally feel this is my mission, to help people with that, and I have seen it over and over again during these 20 years, when people find these beautiful treasure boxes inside of them, like what changes in their life and how much more fulfilled they are and how much happier they are, and so many things will change. It's the biggest joy for me to see that. So, and if you want to read more details about it, please read the blog, which I wrote about it. I just got inspired. I really like to write, and this one became a long one, 1,200 words or so. And every time now I have the video, I have the blog. Usually I don't write that much nowadays, but I also have a task sheet in the very end. I always mention it, and I recommend people to do that and go through those self-reflective questions. But many of you maybe never get to that because you don't have the time, or you're just like, oh, blah, 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 But I wanted to share with you what kind of questions are there, and even if you don't have the time to go and do it like in a written form or really take the time to go through it, I want to share with you so that you get a little experience what that is like. So here we go. So below my blog there is a task sheet which you can actually print out in a PDF or JPG format. And I have some questions. Sometimes it's only 3 questions, sometimes it's more. Like this time I have actually more. So there is a question: have you finally acknowledged the fact that times are changing rapidly and we may have entered something I call the new time energies? So it's just, you can pause the video now and just give it a thought, like what's your, take on it. What changes have you noticed during the last year, and especially during the last 3 months? What are those changes? So most of you may have noticed that you have actually put self-care, if not the number 1 priority, pretty high up on the list. Do you believe that you have chosen to come here in order to become a human angel? So a good question again. Are you willing to upgrade your energies to make it easier? If not, why not? So here are many people who say, Crystal, if God has created us in such a way, we're not supposed to do anything with it. But God also created, washing machines, and there is always someone who has to press the button. It's kind of the same, once you have used one washing machine for a very long time, you have to upgrade to a newer version, and most people would do it for the newer version because it would be stupid to buy an older version. So it's the same. We upgrade our phones, we upgrade our programs, software, but we also have to upgrade our energy. So this is my take, but just think what's yours. Do you believe that you have many special gifts and talents to be shared with the world? And if so, what is stopping you? Have you experienced stronger intuition recently? Have you followed it? And also, if I look back into my life, one of the number one keys for my success, the craziness I have done, is basically I've got the intuition and I've just like followed through. Whether it's like, Crystal, now you're going to go to Hawaii for 3 months, or now you're going to go with the one-way ticket to Mexico, you know. And all of these things, they were crazy jumps, which really jump-started my life in so many ways. Like that one-way ticket to Mexico actually brought me my king, Michael, who we are now married. And very happy together. So you take risks and you will get also rewarded. So if you have followed it, what has happened? If you have not, what happened? So your intuition is your inner GPS, and it is also our responsibility, if you want to really truly become this human angel, to do that no matter what. Are you willing to take 100% responsibility of creating your future? If yes, what is your first step? So many people right now, they may not feel very inspired or good about the future, and they may even have fallen into depression as such. So this is no good. So you have to take responsibility, and I strongly believe that we create our reality with our choices, which come even before the thoughts, and then the words, and then the actions. And then you had frequency and also vibrations to it, and then your creation of your now and future will be so much easier. So are you ready to live from the source of balance energy instead of zigzagging between darkness and light? So if you're ready for that, then this energy upgrade thing is certainly for you. And if you said yes for most answers, contact me for the new time energy upgrade session. We can talk a little more about that, and then figure out what works for you. And if you have some more questions, we can also figure that out. So this is basically all for today. So please read the blog, share it, and if you have questions, please let me know. And if you would like to also work with me, because what I'm talking here really resonates with me, let me know. I'm open for also one-to-one coaching, and my favorite right now, the program I have, is Inner Family Coaching, and I'll put also a little link about that below. So all the best, stay focused, stay activated, and become the human angel who you are here to be. Mahalo, all the best, till we talk again.